Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Super Travel Experience Podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and this is episode 20. This is the live edition, and we're going live right now in Vienna, Austria, where there's a huge event going on right now, and I'm there watching it live. It's pretty amazing. It's Kipchoge trying to break the 2-hour marathon, and they're having a huge event. It's called the Ineos 159 Challenge, and their motto is "No human is limited." There's a huge amount of people here in Vienna. It's actually the name of the place. It's like a little city. It's called Prater, Prater, and actually they're coming right now. They're coming for another loop. They're doing loops, a looped course, and here they come right now. All right, you can hear the crowd. They're getting there we go. There's a crowd right there. Here they come. There's cars in front of them right now. You can hear the announcer, the crowds. Here we go. Here's the car. They got pacers. Here they go. All right, come on, Iliad. All right. He's got about 6 pacers with them. The Ingebrigtsen brothers. There's 3 really great, fast, world-class runner brothers called the Ingebrigtsens, and they're running right now, pacing them. 3 of them right in the front, and then a few other Africans with them. So it's really amazing. It's actually really historic. It's almost as historic as breaking the 4-minute mile barrier. It's really huge for the marathon. That 2-hour is. People didn't think it was going to be broken for 10 or 20 years from now, but Iliad and the whole team Ineos and Nike, they really laid it down to try to break that 2 hours by really coming up with better shoes, better technology, just getting those marginal gains with the pacers, the perfect weather. They even got a perfect course. The whole course is just set up for this race. So it's pretty amazing. There's thousands of people here in Austria, Vienna, Austria. I haven't really went sightseeing yet. Just got in last night from Budapest, Hungary. So I'll go sightseeing, check out the old town later. There's a lot of cool history here, from famous composers to famous doctors and scientists. And Austria is pretty amazing. It was one of the co-capitals of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, that being Budapest and Vienna. So it's supposed to be really nice and beautiful here. So yeah, they have big screen TVs in their live stream. It's live on the TV. You could also watch it on YouTube, so that's pretty amazing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to record for a little bit, and then I'm going to take a break, and this will be part 1 of, 2 or 3 parts. Well, let's call it 2 for now, and I will come back because it's going to take them so they're trying to break 2 hours. I don't want to be on here for 2 hours, so I think they're about 30 minutes, 37 minutes, give or take, in it right now, and then I'll record for a little bit longer and then get back the last maybe 10 minutes or so. So yeah, Vienna, Austria. Why did they pick it? Perfect weather, 1 hour time difference from Kenya, which is perfect because you don't want to mess with the circadian rhythms and the sleep pattern. I mean, I'm still jet lagged from being in Europe, and it's been I want to say 5-6 days or so already, and I'm still a little off. I actually felt the worst the first 2 days, but after the 3rd day, the body seems to kick in. So it's kind of neat. What you do is you just automatically get on the time zone as soon as possible. That's the best way to do it. There's little tricks you could do, like there's these flashing lights you can do. Like there's these flashing lights you could do for your eyes or for your ears. That would help stimulate the photoreceptors. And that would help with your circadian rhythm as well, because we have photoreceptors in our ears and in our eyes as well. So that's really good to do to help with circadian rhythm. It just helps with it for, I don't know, it'll help decrease how long it takes. Sorry, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of talking. The crowd's just going nuts, and a lot of people here right now. And yeah, it's really a cool experience. Definitely may not happen. I don't know if this will ever happen again, but it seems like it might, because there's so much people, and there's so much. You know what it is too? I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a gimmick marketing thing for Nike too, because they get to sell shoes. I mean, theoretically or technically, the marathon doesn't really count as an official time, because it's not on a course, it's not in a race, it's technically illegal, because they have the vehicle in the front and all the pacers pacing him the whole time. And so I think if he does break the 2 hours here, that he might go for it in Berlin next year. That's like the best course, the best weather, and probably the best chance he has to break it for officially next year. Oddly enough, his best is 2:01:39, if I'm not mistaken. And that was set last year in Berlin. This year, Kenenisa Bekele had the greatest race of his life in Berlin, who's 2 seconds off Kipchoge's time. But it wasn't exactly, the same conditions. This year it was a little bit colder. Last year was a little bit warmer. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say there's about 20 seconds. If I had a rough estimate difference. So Kipchoge's still the man. He's still the best marathoner in the world. And what's great about it is his mind is amazing. His mind is like, he's like a philosopher runner. He said no human is limited. He's amazing. You could Google quotes by him and see what he's saying. My nose is running a little bit. It's a little bit chilly. I want to say it's around 50 degrees even. So, yeah, this is the second sub 2 hour attempt. The first one, I want to say, was about 2 hours and 25 seconds last year or the year before in Monza, Italy. But it was a little warmer and the course wasn't as good. So he hit 2:00:25 in Monza and then ran 2:01:39 in Berlin. So that's about a minute, 14 seconds difference on this type of course and these type of conditions and the staged event. It's like a staged event. So I guess if he breaks 1:59 or 2 hours, it's more possible that he could break 2 hours because or 1:59 because he's so far. I just got a flyer. It says "Go Iliad, Ineos 1:59 challenge." It's kind of cool. It's definitely possible he could break 1:59, to tell you the truth, because he's so in much better shape. He's got this better technology. He's just he's in a different place than he was the last couple years. So he may be at the pinnacle of his career right now. So this is the best chance he has. Even if he is at the pinnacle next year, if he starts to get a little slower, he still quite possibly will still stay the greatest marathoner currently. He's got one of the best. He's done like 4 or 5 marathons, and he's won almost every one but like one. His consistency, that's the word I'm looking for. His consistency is really amazing. That's one of the beauty. That's one of his amazing assets of Kipchoge is his consistency, which is amazing in the marathon. Usually you have like a 50-50 chance, things go right, things go wrong. But I guess he's so well trained and so mentally trained that his consistency is much higher. So that's another positive, really great thing about him. I went through a little less crowded section, now going to a little more crowded section from these TVs. I think it was about 500 or 600 meters from the finish. I'm walking towards the finish. It says 400 meters to go. So what they did is they blocked off the whole street, and they have fencing, and around the fence it says Ineos, no human is limited. Around the fencing, the crowd gathers around, and you could watch them go back and forth. They do the loop. It's a little over 4K, so close to a little more than 2.5 miles, and they do that about 4 times, give or take. and you get to see him run back and forth like around 8 times or so. So that's really good for the crowds and that sort of stuff. And that again, the loop course I don't think is legal. There's in an official marathon, I don't think you're really allowed to get the official, world record time by doing that. But it's still fun nonetheless. Like, they're really strict at that. Even I want to say Boston Marathon doesn't count because there's too much net downhill, I believe, and. Because Ryan Hall ran like this super fast time years ago, and he didn't get like an American record or whatever it was because of the strict qualifications of the marathon courses. So yeah, that's it. I think I wanted to say something else, but I can't really remember off the top of my head. Oh, I was talking about that's right, I remember. I start talking about different things, get off on a tangent, but we're talking about the differences between these stage races and the official marathon time. So what's interesting too is these. I would be curious to see what the difference in a staged race like this, distance-wise, versus the official race, because the official race is always a little longer than the staged. I don't know the exact. The stage ones, but the official ones always a tad longer. I don't know why they do that, but I remember they always add a little distance to make sure it's completely accurate and within the length distance, 26.2 miles, or I want to say it's 42.2 kilometers is the exact distance of a marathon. Like I was saying before, it's funny. We can hear speakers now. Let's see. Is it Austrian? I think it's Austrian. Yeah, Austrian. Gastruf. It's funny. There's a lot of signs that said Wiener, but it's pronounced Wiener. Wiener. That's like something Wien, W-I-E-N, or Wien. That's means Vienna. That's the term for Vienna. Wien, pronounced Wien, or I call it Wien or Wiener. It was a funny story. Checking into the hotel, I saw a little pamphlet. It said Wiener Mozart, and I go, what does Wiener Mozart mean? I was like, I'd like to see Mozart's Wiener, and she didn't get it. She's like, oh, Wiener Mozart, Wiener. So I thought that was funny. It might be a good stand-up comedy joke somewhere in there eventually. So yeah, it's starting to get a little bit more crowded. I see people with all these pamphlets, or these little booklets would be kind of cool. Oh yeah, there you go. You can hear them. Just walking through still. I'm 200 meters from the finish, and it's getting a little bit more crowded, a little bit louder. And I think that's going to be the end of part 1 for now. Can't think of anything else to talk about that's interesting. So, all right, guys, that's the end of part 1 in my live podcast from Vienna, Austria. Thank you for listening. There we go. There's some good outro music right there. All right, stay tuned for part 2. And, before I forget, this podcast is brought to you by Super Travel X, affordable, essential travel gear. www.supertravelx.com, and you'll find all sorts of cool travel stuff that I personally love and picked from, and it's actually my store now. I just started a store because over the years I've traveled, and I really found some great stuff to help with those marginal gains, to help you feel more comfortable, more relaxed, more refreshed when you arrived at your destination. Whether you're flying, on a train, in a car, you name it, you will feel better with these little small things, from great travel pillows to great comfortable clothes to you name it. I got it. I'll have more details later. I have the whole thing. I have over 20 stuff on there. It's really good. I like shirts and pants. That's what I was gonna call. I'm getting distracted here because I'm still walking with all the crowds and stuff. But stuff that's, sunproof. Pants and shirts that convert from shorts to pants and pants to shorts and long sleeves to short sleeve and like sunglasses and noise canceling headphones and you name it, I got it. It's over 20 stuff, so check it out there. And there's a 10% discount code. Shoot, somewhere I should give that out. I'll put that in the notes when I load this up online. So all right, guys, thank you for listening to this first episode of the live podcast of the Super Travel Experience podcast. Thank you, guys. Well, I'll see you. Stay tuned in the next, half an hour or so. All right, bye.